Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. I want to talk about how I apply minimalism to food or to eating in general. So I just share my thoughts on that today. It's also a topic that has been requested by many of you, so I'll share how I handle it. I do want to add a disclaimer. It's not that I am crazy about minimalism and eating, minimalism and food. It's not that I apply minimalism in a hardcore way to these things. It's just that minimalism of course has an impact in every area of my life because you can apply minimalism to everything. It's always the question, what is important to you? Are there things that are not actually beneficial? How do you make it easier for yourself? So that are the things that I of course apply as well to eating. But it's on you to judge if I am a minimalist eater, if I apply minimalism to food in the way you would. But I think it's still maybe going to be helpful. So let's get started. So I do want to keep eating and food simple. So I try to always cook from scratch. Now that could be considered not simple, but I mean it in a way that I use mostly fresh produce. I try to buy things zero waste at a store. I take them home and prepare a meal. I try to buy organic foods. I try to buy unprocessed things. So I just want to keep it simple in a way that I know what's in my food. I buy the products and then I make food out of them. We do cook at home all the time, like 99.8% of the time. We just do it like that. We never eat out, we never order something, and just because it saves so much money, it saves so much packaging, and it makes it just so much easier because there's no question, there's no wondering, and should we cook today, should we not cook today, where should we get our food, do we order, how much does it cost? It's just very simple. We buy food every week and then we prepare it at home. We do also try to eat as healthy as possible, but I have to say there we apply minimalism in a sense of not being too obsessed about it. We like delicious food, we want to try out new recipes, we do cook food from different cuisines and backgrounds, but in general, since we cook from scratch and we try to minimize unhealthy things, I think we cook and eat pretty healthy. We also cook a lot of vegan meals and some vegetarian meals. We stopped buying meat completely, but also here I apply just the method of having it simple, not making any crazy rules. So I do eat meat from time to time, just not when I prepare it. I just don't buy any anymore and I don't cook any anymore. But if somebody offers it to me, if I'm somewhere and there's meat on the menu, I will eat it. I know it's much more sustainable to decrease the use of animal products in our kitchen more and more. Now I have to say, ideally, of course, from a sustainable perspective, it would be if we lived completely vegan. We have not managed to do that because there again, it's not as easy as it might think, at least for me. We eat at least half of the week, I think we eat vegan and the other half maybe vegetarian, but it has been harder than I want to admit actually. It wasn't super easy all the time, so we are not vegan at that moment in time. Another way I apply minimalism to food and cooking is that our kitchen is pretty simple. We do not have many electronic devices. We just have an oven, we have the stove top to cook on. We also have one blender, and I think that's it for a water cooker, that boils water for you, so you don't have to do it on the stovetop. But I think that's it for electronic devices. We do not have a Thermomix or a crock pot or anything like that. We do not have a microwave. So we try to also keep our utensils pretty simple, not only the electronic ones, but also all the other special gadgets you could maybe have. And that makes it easier. But then, of course, I also have to say we enjoy cooking, we enjoy eating, we enjoy trying new foods. So we do actually have a few appliances that other minimalists might not have. We actually have a pasta machine, not an electronic one, but one that you have to turn to move the dough through. We didn't buy it, we have borrowed it from my boyfriend's mom. And we do have a few other things that you might not consider essentials, but just because we love making homemade food and we love making pasta ourselves or other things like that, we do choose to have these things. I could live without them, but actually, since I spend so much time in the kitchen and I enjoy cooking so much, I'd rather have these things than buying more processed things, using more plastic, being restricted to the things that I can cook. So maybe I'm not too minimalist when it comes to appliances in the kitchen. So we do have a variety, but also we make sure that we do not have anything we do not use. We also make sure that we do not have anything in like 10 times the amount we use. So we try to restrict the amount of cups and plates and cutlery and things we have like that. Even though it's a bit more than I would choose to own, but we still sometimes have friends over, so we chose to have more than just the three of us need every day. Another thing, we do not have a crazy pantry. Like, we have some foods in stock. Like, we have, I think if we didn't go to the grocery store, we would manage to like eat foods for a few days or even a few weeks. Of course, then we do not have any fresh products anymore, but we just have everything in the kitchen. And again, our kitchen is small, so we try to only have things that we actually know what to use for. We do not just stock up on things. Usually we have the one we need for a recipe, and we have some staples that we have a bit more of. For example, flour, because I bake bread, so we have a few kilos of flour all the time. We also always have some baking things. We also always have some lentils and pasta and just these like basic staple things that we need all the time. But we do not, again, we do not just bulk up and have a huge amount of these things, because they just wouldn't fit in our kitchen, and I would be afraid that we like stopped using something and then didn't use it up or anything like that. Yeah, I think you get the idea of how we handle it. Another thing that I think is very important when it comes to cooking, eating, and just nutrition in general, there are so many theories out there what's healthy for you, but I think for different people there are just different things that work better or like worse. So we try to keep it simple. We try to eat as much as we are like hungry to eat, and then we stop. We don't control our portions too heavily. We don't completely avoid sugar. We do bake some dessert sometimes, but we don't regularly have dessert. We don't obsess about healthy eating. We don't like obsess about high carb, low carb, high fat, low fat, or anything like that. So I'm currently editing this video and I wanted to add something here. I am aware that I'm pretty privileged just because my weight just hasn't changed during the past few years, and also my body, I think most people would think it's perfect or beautiful, or at least how it should be. So I totally understand if not everybody has such a relaxed relationship with food, and I just wanted to let you know that I know that isn't like something you can expect, and I'm super thankful for it, but I totally understand if your relationship with food is not that careless, and if you maybe do think a lot more about what you eat, how much you eat, why you eat certain things or not, and I totally understand that. We just try to make kind of natural, delicious meals and enjoy them. We enjoy like the Asian cuisine, we enjoy, I guess, butchering some cuisines because we just are not pros in cooking every meal from every place in this world. But we are like curious. I am super lucky to have a kid that eats everything. My boyfriend as well, but I think with adults it's maybe more common, or at least us three, we kind of eat everything, and we also like to try different things. And cooking, I have to say, it makes me happy. I like cooking, I like eating, so I do not want to restrict that too much since I enjoy it. So we do apply minimalism in a sense to eating or choosing the meals in a way that we just do not obsess about it. We just try to go with the flow, try to make what we feel like, try to avoid eating super unhealthy all the time. We prepare everything from scratch, and we try to really make sure we only have the things in our kitchen that we actually use. So I hope I could answer some questions you might have about us eating like minimally or cooking minimally or like applying minimalism to the kitchen. If you have any more questions, be sure to leave them down below in the comments. I would be happy to answer them, and also let me know how you handle it. Let me know what is important to you when it comes to cooking and eating in a minimalist way, how you like have your kitchen. I mean, it would be a perfectly minimal way to cook and eat if you just always order out. It requires no kitchen, it's super simple, that's a way to go as well. And I really don't want to judge because it's up to you what feels best to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you liked the video. If you want to see more, I link you a video and a playlist, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!